Hello and welcome to the Passionate Power Couple Summit. I am your host, Latoya J.R. Borders, and today I'm with the invincible Nicole S. Cooper. Love this lady, love this woman. Been following her since 2008. She is so dynamic, so real, so authentic. Nicole, hello.
Hey, she said invincible. Am I invincible?
You are invincible. You create an idea, you go after it, and you slay it. So that is invincibility to me.
I slay. All right. Awesome. Well, glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes. I needed to have you on here, so I'm so glad you decided to say yes to me.
After our 15 reschedules, so it worked.
If you want something, you keep going after it, and you get it.
That's right. We're glad to be here. Hey, everyone.
Nicole, tell everybody who you are and what it is that you do.
So my name is Nicole Cooper, and I'm an online business and profit strategist. So what does that mean? For those of you who are wanting to build a business and leverage the internet to do it, I am your girl. I teach people how to create passive income streams online and how to build assets online. So essentially an asset is something that is going to increase your net worth. And that's what I focus on, helping people to increase their incomes by leveraging the internet.
Yes, she's a beast. If you want a great business, this is the woman you want to go to. So let's hop right in. I got my questions here. Which area do you feel in your marriage is most important to staying connected? Mentally, spiritually, emotionally, or physically?
Which area?
Yeah, which area do you feel is paramount to staying connected to your husband?
Well, spiritual is first, but what I didn't hear in there was communication. Spiritually, you want to, of course, I remember when everybody knows when you get married, everybody say what they say, keep God first. Like, what that mean? And I really didn't know what it meant until we got married, and I was like, Jesus, help me. What is this? And how does this work? Marriage, huh? And so I began to discover along the way the importance of having God as the center of your family and as the center of your marriage, but communication. So I've been married for 13 years, and I think we're just learning how to communicate. So it is we all think I'm a great talker. Like, I love to talk. It ain't got nothing to do with talking. It has everything to do with hearing. And understanding, what the other person is saying without taking offense or being defensive. So from a communication standpoint, spiritual first, but communication is right up there with spirit. Like, whatever God is telling you to do and how to be. I had someone give me advice the other day. She said, your ability to manage who God has called you to be in your marriage is your ability to do the total opposite of how you feel when you get mad, right? So when you get mad, what you want to do? You want to storm out, you want to cuss him out, you want to quit, you want to do it all, you throw up your hands. She said, a spirit-led marriage is doing the opposite of how you feel you want to do in the midst of a heated moment. And so
I love that.
I'm learning, honey. Ain't got it all together, but Jesus.
I love that, the opposite of how you feel, because in that moment, you are self. It's ego, it's my emotions, it's my hurt feelings. To do the opposite. That is perfect. That's perfect right there.
When she said it was in the midst of a heated moment.
Oh.
It's like, give some advice. Okay, give it to me because I'm about to go crazy.
I'm about to go off.
Yeah.
Jesus shipped it to you right quick. Here, don't go off.
Yeah.
So the next question is, how do you keep a great connection with your spouse or reconnect it if it's lost?
Communication. You and I were just talking before we actually started this interview. Most people marry, not all, most people marry the total opposite of who they are. And you looking at them and they looking at you like, I don't understand why you just can't see it the way I see it. What the reality is, me and you see life through a different colored glass. Yours may be the green, mine may be the pink, right? We see life differently. And the thing about marriage, I often say that your childhood is a foreshadow of your future. So my childhood was fighting, throwing cups and glasses and knives and calling the police. And my husband's was Sister, Mr. and Mrs. Cooper. Mr. everywhere it was Sister Cooper and Mr. Cooper. Like it was them together all the time, and he never saw them argue. Maybe in his younger years, but as they got more mature, he never really. She was very wifely, and like in the sense of like if they had a what did somebody said something the other day, a terminology they used. But if they had a heated discussion, you would take it to the room, and they were very flexible in their process. Me, I'm gonna cuss you out, I'm gonna kick you out, and I'm gonna do whatever else I gotta do. I'm gonna throw all your stuff out, right? That's the kind of environment we grew up in. And so, so when you have those two different experiences colliding, you have this like chaos because this person is used to chaos and they create it and then they start trying to emulate what they saw. But this person is like, well, hey, you know, this is how my parents handled it. Can't we just sit down and talk? No, I don't want to talk. You know what I mean? Like, so it's communication. It's like learning to receive all of someone and what they say. So when my husband says stuff to me, it's not that he's saying it to be offensive. He's saying it because he's like, when I grew up, I didn't see this argument. Like, why are we arguing? I don't understand why you just can't take what I say. Right? So that's the deal. Like, you know, communication is very critical to your whole being of a marriage. Communication.
I love that you touched on your childhood because I don't know what the coach name. I think his name is Hassan. And he has a very interesting way of describing that. He says, each of you come from a different marinade. You marinated with your parents for 20-something years, and then you come with all that sauce into your new marriage. So I love the way you put it, that, you know, I grew up in this. This is what I'm used to. And it does come out in your marriage a lot. And you're wondering, like, I don't understand why you don't fight like me. This is what I know.
Yeah.
And so you get to that.
Yeah. Like my husband and I, like we talked about, I'm such an entrepreneur. He's such a like get a job. And we had this conversation the other day. I said, well, where I grew up, my family was hustlers. If they needed something, they'd get out there right there today. If they needed $500, they're gonna make $500. I don't care if they got to cook or sell socks, they gonna do it. Like, where I grew up, they got a job and they kept a job the entire time, and they never worked for them. You know, they might have had little like. But it's just, I grew up around immigrants. So immigrants, like, they make it happen, Captain. Like, whatever we need, we're going to do it. Let's go deals. Let's throw a party and charge them at the door and send liquor or something. We're going to make it work. Like, we just grew up in that make it happen environment. And so I had to understand that in the dynamics of our marriage, that's just what I bring. My husband's not going to be conformed to that. So it's just, you have to learn, like, whatever it takes to understand whatever it takes to make the marriage work, it's going to take for you to understand where they came from and how they grew up and how they saw life. And it starts making a big difference. Like you start becoming more accepting of what they say and how they act.
I love that. I think that's why I was so drawn to you in the first place, because my husband is like the stable type, like, nah, like, let's go get this job. And I'm like, babe, like, there's so much stuff out here. No, I can't live that life. I don't want to live. It's in me. Like, I can't. It's like a physical, spiritual, I don't know. It just hurts me to even think about doing that. I can do it, but it's only to support the entrepreneur in me, only to support the business, only to do that. And I think we're 6 years in, 10 years together, 6 years married, and we're just now kind of getting the balance of it. Because at first it was like tearing us up.
Yeah.
So my next question is, which strategies have you employed in your marriage to make it last so long? You're 13 years in. Really, statistically, no, that's not the norm. How did you get to 13 years? But communication, I know, because you talk about it so much.
Marriage
counseling, all right, yes.
Marriage counseling, good advisors in your life. Yeah, you know what? The first 7 years for us was like, what did I do? Why did I get married? Right? Remember that movie? I can honestly say that, well, here's the thing about our marriage. My husband and I met through ministry, and we connected as friends first. So we really got to know well, we knew each other of who we were then, right? We were college kids. So we were still living in fantasy land of what life would one day be like. We weren't necessarily engaging in the activity that was producing our character in an environment, right? Mm-hmm. And so when we knew, when we were friends, when we had the one connection to do that we were supposed to get married, we knew we had an assignment together. We knew that there was something that we were going to do together that when we come together is so dynamic. Oh my God, like we can light up the world. At that time, we were both working with inner city kids. Mm-hmm. So we were both like passionate about that. We would open up this, we would open up that. Well, when we got married and after college, I began to get into, rich dad, poor dad and all these things and started pursuing entrepreneurial careers. And we kind of went in a total opposite of the vision that we had for our marriage. So we went through so many changes trying to adapt to like what we thought it was going to be, that we just couldn't figure out like, why isn't this like the fantasy that we saw? But what we had to come to understand was who you are as a child in love, right? Or as a young adult in love, is not who you are as you begin to emerge as a full responsible adult that has different decisions to make. And so my husband couldn't understand why I was so I was very, very addicted to it. Like, I don't know if I still am. I think I want to see that I got a little bit better.
You still addicted.
But for him, he had the idea of we go to work, we come home, we sit down, we have dinner together, and we have conversations. Well, no, I was working till midnight, and I would come home, the food would be in the microwave, and I would warm it, and I would eat, and I go to bed, and I get up, and I'm back up out at 6, 7 in the morning. And it was like this chaotic cycle of like him trying to pursue the vision, and it just created a lot of chaos. So anyway, the first 7 years was me like, I'm gonna do what I want to do. This is my life. Blah, blah, blah. And fortunately, I had a man who believed in marriage. I'm gonna be honest with you. To me, marriage has always ended in divorce. And so I had in my head expected that if I married this man, because my mom, she had just the worst marriages. And so whenever we would pass by a wedding, my mom would say, somebody just ruined their life. This is what she would say when I was a kid. Gosh. So in my head, when you get married, you ruin your life. And so I was married acting like I was single. And I didn't know what it was like to receive a man to love me because I had a very challenging relationship with my dad because how he was with my mom, right? He didn't respect her. He used me to get back at her, blah, blah, blah. Totally different story today. I'm like daddy's girl now. But all these things were happening. But the thing that made the difference was one person believed in our marriage. Okay. I don't want to say I didn't, but I would say that because my husband was so committed to making it work, it would encourage us to do things to make it work. Right. And for a long time, I just saw him as my enemy. Like, don't be trying to tell me what to do and don't be trying to control my life. And, I ain't going to submit to that. You have all these issues. I was good and holy, but I was just a little rebel of whatever, the total opposite, little devil child in the house when it came to marriage, because I didn't know what that was supposed to be like. So there was always a driving force to get us to remember why we got there, right? What we saw, who we were before, the conversations we had. And we would get into these fights and be like, but dang, like if I go back to who we were in 1999 and 2000 and the respect we had for each other, we would never allow ourselves to be it. So I say that to say that we had to go through a process of remembering why. And having, because you're not going to always both be on one accord, right? You're not going to always, some months you in love and he like, I don't feel like it, right? And other months he like, I just love you and I want to wash your feet and let me cook you dinner and let me take you out. And then you're going to be like, right? So it's always, because it's all about emotions and how we feel. Remember, like our feelings tend to control our actions. But one of the things that has been very beneficial for us is remembering why. Going back to remembering why. And so this summer we went back to the camp where we met, and when we were there, we looked at each other like, When I looked at you, he was like, you respected me so much here. Because he was the discipline here. He ran the camp. Like, as far as discipline, he was the overseer of the whole camp. And I love that he was secure. He was security, and he was this, and he was like, but I need you to let me lead that in real life. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's how that relates to how you like try to help me and tell me, you know what I mean? So it really is like, it really is a committed process to remember, why are we together? If love and sex is all that drove you, and I don't want to say love and sex. If sex is all that drives you, or lust is all that drives you, you really don't have a foundation to stand on. For me and my husband, we knew we had an assignment in ministry to impact lives. Now, at that time, it was kids. For me, it's changed to more of adults. He still is working with kids. And so we just had, that's what kept us together. So that's what drove us to the marriage counselors. That's what, when we would get into big fights and one of us would leave and go storm somewhere, God would be like, remember Thanksgiving 2000, Thanksgiving, remember that?
Oh.
And that will keep us going. So I say marriage is like a business.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to have a vision and a mission statement. What do we want to accomplish? Where do we want to go? What is it that we're called to do, and how can we make it happen together? So that's a long answer, but.
And you answered one of my other questions when you said something about vision, but I want to go back to when you said commitment and remembering your why. I thought that was really, really poignant when you said that, because when me and my husband first got together, before everybody else came around and told us what marriage should look like, we had a really great vision. And then everybody was like, well, as a wife, you should do this. And as a husband, you should do that. And that submissive word was a rub for me, because I thought submissive meant something completely. I heard submissive. I heard quiet. I heard let him lead, you follow. You can't do or say anything contrary to him. And it created a lot of friction in our marriage, because I'm just not that person. You can lead, honey, do that. But like, be quiet and not have an opinion or be able to contribute to our marriage in a way that I think that I should be able to. It really hurt us. And actually, it was a person I really, really trusted. I still get advice from this person, but it was a minister was like, you need to be more submissive. And I was like, well, okay. He was like, if you're not, then you're going to ruin your marriage. And I was like, I heard that, and it was like so devastating. For like a year straight, I turned into somebody completely different. And my husband said, I never asked you for that.
Mm. And so submissive has a different word. Like, I think we look at submissive and it means, most people might abuse it and say, do what I tell you to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, in the year 2016, you're watching this, you ain't gonna get no women that's gonna be like, whatever it is you say, right? That's not gonna happen.
Right.
But submissive can mean that I respect what you have to say enough to hear you out. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, I'm gonna bring something to you. You know, the other day, as a matter of fact, talking about this big endeavor that we want to pursue, right? This whole RV life thing. I brought it to my husband and I was like, how do you really feel about it? And my husband is the kind of man that would say what he thinks he's supposed to say to continue to support me. He's not going to say how he really feels. And I had to keep digging, like, no. That sounds very, like, scripted to make me feel good. I need you to tell me, how do you feel? And finally he broke. He was like, this is my concern. And I was like, okay, I hear you. So now that I know your concerns, we're going to honor your concerns. I'm not going to push this envelope so far and try to override your concerns. And honestly, that conversation broke the mold for how we communicate, because I no longer went to him with a coercion persuasion attempt. But instead, I went to him like, what do you think? What is it that you see? How do you feel about the situation? And so it makes a big difference. Like, it just opened up the doors for us to begin to really receive each other. Yeah.
That's that authentic listening. You're not just hearing me, but you're really listening. And then you said some
13 years and 6 months, maybe 6 days.
You got it. That's the important thing. And then you said commitment. And at one point it was him and then it was you. But I do think the commitment piece is so important. I think sometimes we commit to like, I'm in love with you. This is the happier stuff. But you have to commit to the whole thing. And I think sometimes people miss you're going to have seasons where you might not like him. You still love him, but you might not like him. Like, she might really be getting on your nerves right now, but you're committed to the vision of your marriage. You're committed to your family. And I think that's something we should focus more on, the commitment of it.
Absolutely.
I think you answered my last question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. I said, do you think you need a vision to create an extraordinary marriage?
Heck yeah.
I don't know what I would have done had I not found that out. And I think you introduced it to me, not the vision for my marriage, but a vision for my life. And once me and my husband started talking about what we wanted for our lives together, it kind of naturally moved into, well, what do we want from each other? What do we expect from each other? What do we want for our family vision? And it molded into something really, really great. So thank you for that.
Yeah, vision is important for everything. The Bible tells us without a vision, my people perish. You need a vision for everything. You need a vision for your kids. You need a vision for your job. You need a vision for your marriage. You need a vision for your health. Right? You're pursuing to work out. And I always say dreams are illustrations from the book your soul is writing about you. And a lot of times people say, well, I don't have a vision. But you have a dream, right? Like Martin Luther King used to say, I have a dream. Essentially, if you replace the word dream with vision, that's what he gave you. He painted a vision. But if you have a visual connection to an outcome, that visual connection, and I was telling somebody this the other day, we're in the midst of like some major, major exciting things in our lives that require big, bold moves. And it's putting us in a position where you get the vision on the front end, but you still got to do the work in the in-between. And in the in-between, guess who haunts you? Your emotions, your feelings. Your feelings show up and be like, are you really doing what you should do? What if you're making a big mistake? I don't know if you should do that. Blah, 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 blah. And the beautiful thing about the vision is the vision shows you the outcome. And when you can say, you know what, emotions move. Right? Maybe I can think about that for a second, but nope, I'm straight because this is what I see on the other side. I'm just going to stay focused until I cross the finish line into that vision being manifested in my life. It keeps you from quitting. It keeps you connected to the course that is going to get you down the path that you want to go in. And it also allows you to endure the unsexy things about anything. Like marriage looks so sexy, but it ain't sexy behind the scenes. You know what I mean? It ain't sexy having to wash each other's undies and, having to deal with the fact that they go to the bathroom and they do number twos and, they poop in the bed or something like that. Like real life situation.
Real life.
That you're raising kids together. You might have conflict of opinion on how to raise kids. You might have conflict of opinion on your spiritual relationship or your profession or savings, bank account, money management, whatever. Like it's a lot of unsexy things in there. And what happens to most of us is we don't have a vision. So the first unsexy thing that pops up, I'm bailing. There's no commitment to an outcome. Like I said, with me and my husband, it was a vision we had that kept us together because my husband, my pastor always used to say this, you didn't marry the man. God does not give you the person you want. He gives you the person you need. My husband was my boy. Like I never saw him being husband material when we got to know, when we met. When we got to know each other, I understood all the characteristics of what I desired was in this one man. And so I began to realize, like, you're trying to take all these other jokers out here and conform them into this when you already got a nicely packaged, gifted, and at your foot, your doorstep. Are you going to receive it or are you going to keep chasing these crazies, right? And so it helped me to look at him for who he is. And like the fact that my husband would bring me tea in the morning. Like we stayed at a friend's house and he was staying in a totally different, he stayed in a barn, right? I was staying in the house. He would get up every morning and make me breakfast and bring me breakfast. And this is like when I was just visiting him. I'm like, I'm making breakfast. And guess what? He still makes me breakfast to this day. I'm not marrying him because I want him to be my do boy. What I'm marrying him is that my husband paid attention to what I liked. It wasn't that he just brought me breakfast. It was that he noticed that I love tea, and he put the tea together and brought me tea first thing in the morning. That the thing that he paid attention to all the details. He noticed if I changed my hair color, if I changed my nail color. He can tell, like, he was so committed to really getting to know me that I was like, man, this man is a true gift, and he has so much to bring to the table. So when you can begin to see a person for beyond the external, beyond the sexual lust and the, oh, he's so sexy, and oh my God, those lips. Like, all right, for real, because in the same lips that can cuss you out, in the same lips that can be on the phone with another person, outside cheating your man. I mean, that kind of stuff, that's why the superficial imagery that they give us in the media, that's why so many people's marriages are destroyed, because it's superficial. And most people today don't get to know who they marry before they marry them. People want to be married so bad, and they want to sleep with them so bad, or it was just a sexual attraction. That's it. Like, I was just drawn to him, or I was just drawn to her. She looked so good. Yeah, but she looked good. She got a foul mouth. She hates kids. She don't respect your mom. You want a woman that can cook. She don't want to cook. You want a woman that can clean. She don't want to clean. Like, it's different. We have to be very, especially for all y'all folks that's engaged, pay attention to the person that you're dealing with outside of, oh, he's so cute. Oh, she's so, she looks so good. Like, get away from that stuff and get to know the person. The beautiful thing about me and my husband is we really got to know each other. And this is back in 99, 2000, 2001. We didn't have cell phones. We had we just started getting cell phones, but we weren't on Facebook. We didn't have all this distraction. We would get on the phone and we would talk for 2 hours, and we would really listen to each other. We would write each other letters and mail them in the mail.
The mail?
And send each other cards that you literally buy and you sign.
That's deep.
Like,
not an email, an actual letter in the mail.
Letter with your handwriting. You got to see how they write, right? All this stuff plays a part. So that's a very long answer, but vision is critical.
I love it. So we're coming to the end, and I think you have a free gift for everybody. Do you want to talk about that, or I can just put the link below?
Well, yeah. We're launching something, and the gift is going to be coming soon. So I would just recommend that you go ahead and go to keepingupwiththecoopers.com, keepingupwiththecoopers.com, and we're putting something together, sharing our story, and our journey, and some really big decisions that we're making to turn our lives around. And you'll get a chance to get some tips on how you can. I can't really. It's like a trailer of a movie. Yes.
Don't give it all to them. Don't.
Just opt in. Keepingupwiththecoopers.com.
You guys, you want to opt in. This is not a joke. This is not a game. I've been following this woman, I promise you, since 2008. And it has opened up my life to new levels, new depths with my husband, with my family. You want to stay connected to Miss Nicole S. Cooper. All right. You guys have a great day.
Thanks, y'all. Bye.
Bye.